What's happening? Good morning. Oscillators and percolators. Really relaxed little morning show here. I'm actually working on a Behringer synthesizer showcase or synthesizer series I'm doing right now. So I'm going to check out oscillators and percolators to cover the Behringer Odyssey analog synthesizer. Because I think this was a really cool recreation from Behringer that often gets forgot about. Hope you got your coffee. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over the Behringer Odyssey analog synthesizer, 37 duophonic analog synth, dual VCOs, 3-way multi-mode VCF, 32-step sequencer. It's a really beautiful recreation at a really good price. And I know that Korg went and worked with ARP and did a recreation of their own. But me personally, I don't know why you'd ever go get a Korg when you can get the Behringer, right? You get a brand new Behringer for the price. So we'll check out some used prices. We're also going to go back in time and watch some of the first videos from Behringer. What's up, Zork for Zorks? Yeah, we're going to watch some of the first videos that they came out with the promo and go over some. We're going to watch Moody Boxel, I think's his name. He's going to cover it a little bit. And we're just going to check out and see what it sounds like. So, thanks for joining me. Welcome. Take a sip of your coffee, sit back and relax. This is Oscillator and Percolators, brought to you by Synth Samurai and That Synth Show. It's a relaxing morning show we do once a week, usually Tuesday mornings. I got a little bit of a vacation I'm going on later, so I figured I would just do a show this morning for a little bit, see if anybody pops in. All right, so let's get down to business. I got a couple loaded up here. The first one up I got is just the original promo video, first when it dropped from Behringer. Let me cut the music. Let's check this out. So this is the original. This was 6 years ago today. So it's such a wonderful thing that this company, we get to watch the evolution of Behringer over 6 years. This was one of the first recreations they came out with, and man, they did such a good job on it. Such a good job. It's built like a tank, all metal, you know, like Behringer does, metal and wood. Not a lot of plastic unless they're directly recreating something like the MS1 or, sorry, the SH1 clone, the MS1 or the TD3s. Unless they're cloning something that was plastic to make it exact recreation, they pretty much, they make these things like tanks, man. And I own some, so I can tell you. So let's check this video out.
Hi guys, it's Michael from Behringer, and we're here for the NAMM 2019. Today we're very proud to show you our tribute to the Odyssey analog synthesizer. The original Odyssey is from approximately 1972. It's fully analog and has 2 oscillators, ring modulator, very complex routing, and can also do very experimental sounds. It was also used for the theme tune of the Doctor Who BBC series, and it sounds...
I always like to look in the background. We got the MS1 down the bottom. We got the ARP Odyssey there on the rack. Above that, I believe we've got the Behringer Deepmond, and then above that we got the Behringer VC. I can't remember the name of it. It's their string instrument thing, which my buddy has one of those, and they're amazing. If anybody knows the name of that, throw it down in the chat, the Behringer string instrument one with the vocoder.
Really wicked. Our tribute has additional mini sequencer, arpeggiator, USB, MIDI, and a very nice digital effect section powered by Clark Technic.
Sounds gorgeous. Like, one of the coolest things about Behringer that I really like is for the prices you can pick up these vintage replicas, you can build such a beautiful hardware studio for yourself with total analog power that you could only get for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars only a few short years ago. And Behringer came out and said, you know what, we just really want to put these in the hands of the everyman. And I mean, to be able to have a replica, and we'll check it out in a little bit. You can see the Korg one that they did, and we'll check out some prices on Reverb. But to have an absolute beautiful replica of one of the most legendary vintage synthesizers is a pretty cool feat that Behringer pulled off. And they also added their Clark Technica effects, which, you know, come on. All right. So that was the intro video there. Then the cool thing they did, they teamed up with this cat, Buxel, however you say it. Down here, talented Buxel joins us to explore some of the iterations of the iconic ARP synthesizer. So before we jump to that, let's jump on over here just so you can get a quick look at what's going on. This is the original ARP Odyssey 1. They had the beautiful grayish white one. The Mini Moog proved to be a runaway success as the first compact studio synthesizer. ARP responded with a compact, user-friendly studio synthesizer of their own with the ARP Odyssey in 1972. An almost equally legendary machine itself, the Odyssey was ARP's highest-selling synth back then and still to this day in the second-hand market. Odyssey essentially gives you a simplified hardwired ARP 2600 in a much smaller and affordable package. So Behringer also went and did a replica of the 2600, which to me is probably I got to pick one up. I just been putting it off, but I absolutely love the Behringer 2600. And for $499, or you can grab the Blue Marvin or the Gray Mini replica with an actual spring reverb in it. Come on. It comes with all the equipables, you know, the ADSR envelope, sign, square, LFO, sample and hold, blah, blah, blah. So you had this beautiful black one that came out, but the one that they all went and cloned was the classic Halloween pumpkin. Okay, the black and orange, the iconic look of this ARP Odyssey, the ARP Odyssey Mark III. Another cosmetic makeover saw the Mark III series produced in 78 to 81. These models virtually the same as the Mark II, except the overall look and quality set to match the look of the ARP Odyssey synths, the orange and black color scheme, and a much more rugged steel chassis for all those giggers, right? And it was used by everybody. Tangerine, Dream, the Bass, Apollo 440, 9-inch nails, Astral Projection, Devo. Okay, so if we jump over here, this was, I pulled this was the, when Korg and ARP worked together, so they brought over some of the designers from ARP, and Korg went and built the replica. So let's watch this real quick, and then we'll jump back to the Behringer one. So then you can just get a sound check on both of these to your ears. Okay, I got to make sure I got always make sure you got this stable volume button turned off, or when you listen to things like music or demos on here, it'll sound crap.
When I first saw this, it immediately brought back old memories of my beginnings as a synthesizer player.
I enjoy analog gear. I'm an analog guy. I play it mostly because it has character and personality to it. To be able to have access to all the parameters right on board with no presets is just my kind of music. I love it.
Yeah, this is a thickie, but you know, this is a thickie. Not this one. This is the mini key Korg version, and I think they also got the full size. Like I said, Korg went and worked with ARP and brought back the Odyssey, and they did a mini keys version, which I don't think people were that pumped about, but then they also did a full size version.
First thing that I noticed is that this looks like the instrument that I started with a few extra things that weren't available at that time.
It's colorful, it's classic, it's fresh, it's beautiful to play.
The layout.
I personally think the Behringer one blows away the Korg collaboration with ARP, right? It blows it away. If you ask me, I think it blows it away. Yeah, Rourke, baby, she's a thickie. She's a thickie. Okay?
Makes it very user-friendly for learning how synthesis works.
It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog, it's a synth.
All right, this guy knows how to do it. You're working threes. It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog, and then he drops it in. It's a synth. That's amazing.
Odyssey. The Odyssey is back.
So what is it? It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog. You put those three together, stir them up in a pot, and what do you got? You got a synth. Okay, so that's the Korg version. If we jump back over here, now we're going to check out Moody Boxel just playing around a little bit on this thing. Moot Buxel, however you say it. Moot Buxel, Boxel, whatever. Buxley, however you say it. You guys let me know how you say it. But again, what Behringer added to their Odyssey replica was they added the Clark Technica effects. So you get a bunch of effects built into this beast. So if you just want to play it standalone, you don't have to hook it up to a DAW or hook it up to any type of pedals because you already got some beautiful effects built in. Yeah, Corey Henry. Shout out to Corey Henry. The best synthesizer math of all time. It's warm, it's vintage, it's analog. And that equals a synth in synth math. Amazing. Yeah, he took lessons from Samurai. I took lessons from him. That's good. It's warm, it's analog, it's classic, it's a synth. Already sounds way better. So the Behringer one already sounds way better than the Korg one. And I've got it on good word from people who've done some comparisons. The Behringer one blows the Korg one out of the water. And you know I'm a Korgi. I'm a Korgi at heart. So you can't hate on me for saying that. I'm a Korgi. I'm Korgi down to the core, okay? But I'm a Behringer bro as well. So I'm a Siamese synth twin, okay? I got a Korg head and I got a Behringer head. I'm a Siamese synth twin, and they're always fighting with each other. But you got to tell the truth to the people, and the truth is the Behringer Odyssey replica, because we're not using clone anymore, because clone's a nasty word, okay? Clone's a nasty word. I'm trying to get the Premier of Canada to ban the word clone now that he's in there. Clone is a nasty word. Or Prime Minister of Canada, sorry. So I like to use replica. So let's check this out. Shout out to my brother, man. Love you. I'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Matt Baxley. You might know me as Moot Buxley from the internet.
All right.
And I'm here at the Music Tribe Experience Center in
Moot Buxley. Okay, just notice what this is. Now think about this for a quick second before we get into this. This is the Music Tribe Experience Center. All right? I don't know where they set that up or where it is, but I know that Music Tribe has now partnered or bought into Guitar Center. It's time to get rid of Guitar Center's name. Throw that crap out of the window. Guitar Center's got the worst reputation going, and I think they could build that back up, but I think they should call it the Music Tribe Experience Centers, okay? They should change Guitar Center's name to Music Tribe and just knock that old guitar sign off it. Throw up a beautiful Music Tribe sign in neon lights or whatever you want to do. You go in there, you got all the synths laid out. You go into Guitar Center now, you can't even demo a synthesizer. You can in some of them, but a lot of them you're like, man, shouldn't you have the Cream Dream in here?
in Los Angeles, and I am overwhelmingly excited to bring you the Behringer Odyssey synthesizer. This is Behringer's new iteration on the classic ARP Odyssey.
Now, overwhelmingly excited has different meanings for everybody. Moot Buxley, when he's listen, if Moot Buxley's overwhelmingly excited right now, then, man, I'd hate to see what he's like when he's not excited. He might not even be moving, all right? If Moot Buxley's overwhelmingly excited, I'm overwhelmingly excited. And I'm not even touching the freaking Behringer Odyssey, all right? So, Moot Buxley, there's different levels of overwhelmingly excited.
Odyssey duophonic synthesizer, first issued in the early 70s. One of the first self-contained portable analog synths, and definitely one of the classics that have been used on countless records. This, in my opinion, is the ultimate Odyssey because it includes all of the innovations and additions and refinements that have been on every iteration of this machine.
Wha-bam! Okay? Moot Buxley says it there right. This is the greatest what do you say, greatest refinement of all time. This synthesizer not only recreated the original, it recreated the original, the Mark II, the Mark III, and you might as well call this the Mark IV, or might as well call it the Mark VII because it leapfrogged 5, 6. Call this the Odyssey Mark VII because they added a ton of other stuff and they put the Clark Technica effects in it. This is the greatest replica of an ARP Odyssey ever created on Earth, hands down.
Up until the present. That means that this features all 3 voltage-controlled filters. That's the Mark I, the Mark II, and the Mark III. So you get a very classic ARP 2-pole sound like this. Very aggressive. So you can get that Herbie Hancock bass. Of course, there is the 4-pole filter from the Mark II. And this one is a lot more Moog-like.
Mogi Mogi.
And this, being a traditional ladder filter design, will self-oscillate.
Now, before we go on, I don't know if you guys know the legendary Synth Punk. Synth Punk bought an ARP Odyssey, or sorry, a Behringer Odyssey back in the day. I think he loved it, but then he went and tried to get Behringer to sponsor him or something, and they had a falling out. So Synth Punk went and took a sledgehammer or an axe or something to the ARP Odyssey in his backyard. Madman. Oh, LED faders.
Then, of course, we have the Mark III filter, which this is styled after.
Right, so I mean, you got 3 beautiful filters in this thing. The Mark I, the Mark II, the Mark III. You got the Mogi. You got the...
The Mark III filter is great for getting those tubby brass sounds.
Tubby.
Very classic warm sound. As you can see, the Behringer Odyssey features illuminated faders, which are dimmable all the way to off if that's distracting for you.
Damn, all right, we got dimmable faders on here, baby. So you can turn these down if you're a light-sensitive kind of guy, you know? If you're walking around with one eye because you've got some issues like Echo Craft, you can dim those faders to a very dim lit. You don't have to have them busting. I know my wife has light sensitivity, right? So if I ever get the mag light, right? She's getting a little uppity, blast her with the mag light. Ah!
Or to blindingly bright, if that's your thing.
I like blinding bright.
Also included is the
blinded by the lights. Revved up, do some baby runner in the night. Blinded by the lights.
Clark Technic effects section, which includes 35 digital effects. Make no mistake about it, this is an analog synthesizer, faithful to the original circuitry of the Odyssey. But it includes a digital control section, which is built around this beautiful new sequencer.
Wha-bam! Look at the value. This is what everybody seems to forget. When you buy a Behringer synthesizer, they always add value, okay? So all the haters out there, nobody hates on anybody else. No one hates on VST clones and all this crap. When Behringer brings out a replica, an inspirational replica, they add value, value added. Okay, this one, they gave you the Clark Technica effects. They gave you the 3 filters. They gave you a digitally controlled, beautiful sequencer section. So now you're going to have such more enjoyable playing experience just with one synthesizer than you could have possibly have with an early one.
That is also included on the MS-101 and other products that we are currently developing.
Energy levels are through the roof. I mean, for all those new AI centers that are being built across the United States of America, they should name the energy production transformer or hub the Moot Buxel, because the energy levels are off the hook.
This is a completely modern Odyssey with a classic sound. You have MIDI I/O and USB MIDI. so you can sync the sequencer to your DAW or any kind of other USB MIDI host. This also features very high quality jacks, very high quality build. This is the first Odyssey to have a fully metal chassis.
You hear that? First Odyssey ever to have fully metal chassis. Like I said, value added, another value added. Everyone talks about Behringer's quality. Behringer to me is, when you go to price versus value ratio, there's no better quality than a Behringer synthesizer. Now, you know, we always got to preface in the knobs. The knobs are a little bit, sometimes, you know, you turn it and it cracks. I mean, right, it's a knob. But guess what? Ask EchoCraft. If you ever want a bag of knobs, contact EchoCraft. He'll contact his rep over in Alibaba, and he'll get you a bag of knobs for 20 bucks. He'll get you chicken heads. He'll get you rubber ones. He'll get you plastic. He'll get you shiny, glow in the dark. He'll get you a bag of knobs that'll last you a whole lifetime.
The originals had a metal face with the plastic surround, and the reissues have had the same, and this one is...
Yeah, so it's the first one with all metal Echo.
Is very heavy and is definitely going to be roadworthy. Any of the features that you would have found on recent reissues of the Odyssey are also present here, like a balanced XLR output that is very hot and very clean, and CV, gate, and trig in and out, and of course MIDI in and out, USB MIDI in and out.
Conductive in the chat. You've got the ARP Odyssey. This is not true. That's not true. He's wrong. He's lying. Who? Nothing is real. What are you guys saying? What are you saying? He said this was the first Odyssey to have a fully metal chassis. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's go look over here for a quick sec. Go over to Vintage Synth. Let's see if they got any updates on what we're on the... Actually, if we let's jump over to Reverb real quick. We'll jump over to Reverb. Korg ARP Odyssey. So you can pick up a used Korg for $800, $2,000. Weird price differences. But let's just look up the ARP Odyssey original and see what the prices of that's going for. ARP Odyssey. Oh, we want to check out the Mark II. Mark II, Mark I. Let's check out the Mark II. Let's check out the side cheeks. Looks like... That looks like wood to me. Wood side cheeks. Right there. Okay. Looks like wood. Could be metal. Looks like wood. I don't know. Let's check out another version. Whoops. Come on. Contact support. Always. Gotta mess around. What else we got down here? ARP Odysseys. It's hard to tell. Very hard to tell. So I don't know. You guys have to do your own research on there right now. Check out Moody Boxel. This is not me quoting it. Moot Boxel, Moot Booksley, he is saying that this is the first ARP Odyssey to have fully metal chassis. I don't know, man. Don't quote me. Quote him.
And an external audio input that will allow you to use not only the filter, as the original did, but include the effects section as well. Let's talk about the effects section. One of the things that is exciting about it is that for each of the 35 effects, while there are no presets per se, all of the parameters are persistent. If, for instance, I go into this gated reverb program and I set the parameters that I want, and now I move over to delay.
So, I don't know how good these effects are, but it's pretty cool that you can change some effects so you can add some reverb and delay. I saw someone in the chat mention the effects aren't great. I think it was Conductive said the effects in this aren't that great, but I don't know. I don't know.
I can set my parameters for the delay, come back to the gated reverb, and those will still be there. And if I go back to the delay, those will still be there. So each effect has persistent memory even if you power off the unit. And it's fully bypassable in case you just don't want to have those digital effects. But it's nice to have. And each effect is also BPM.
All right, Moody. we got to go, man. Energy levels are too high. We're going to jump on over here. This is Daniel Fisher from Sweetwater. Shout out to Sweetwater. The show is sponsored by Echo Craft, all right? We call it Echo Craft's $1.99 sponsorship. We're not sponsored by any synthesizer companies. We ain't sponsored by nobody. We're sponsored by the viewer, Echo Craft, all right? Because Echo Craft gives us $1.99 every once in a while. And usually if I do a couple shows a week, I can go out and pick myself up an Italian sandwich with extra mayo. Italian sub, right? So shout out to Echo Craft for sponsoring the show with that $1.99 bag, baby. Let's go. All right. Let's hit the Behringer Odyssey Tone Sculpt and Duophonic Analog Synthesizers. Here's some demo from Daniel Fisher. $9.99, baby. Looks like I'm getting an Italian sub for lunch today. Extra mayo and a side of ketchup for that booty bread. You have two people in the chat and Conductive telling you that they were all metal original. The guy is a clown. He doesn't work for Behringer anymore because he's a clown. Damn, Echo. I think maybe you and Moody Boxel gotta throw down. I don't know. He said it was the first metal chassis ever created on an Odyssey. I don't know. Somebody go fact check him. Fact check him. We got Echo and Conductive saying, no, that's not true. There were metal chassis on the originals. That's crazy. If you want to put in a complaint on Synth Samurai's channel, it's going to cost you $9.99 to enter a complaint in the complaint box. All right, Echo, thank you for the $10, baby. $10 will get me an Italian sub for lunch with extra mayo in tribute to Echo Craft.
Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher here at Sweetwater Sound, and today I'm really excited to show you the Behringer Odyssey. And it is a 2-oscillator synthesizer that can do paraphonic duophony. It can do 2 notes at a time, although they do share the same filter and amp, but you can have 2 different pitches like I did in the beginning. Some interesting things. This one comes with an effects section designed by Clark Technic. And
actually, hold on. I got to pull this up because we did this the other day and it was pretty fun. Hold on. What is it called? Air button. All right. Shout out to Echo Craft for the Italian sub purchase. Too early for that.
And unlike a lot of synthesizers, this has the proportional pitch control, or PPC, which lets you do pitch bending with pressure as well as vibrato, as opposed to having 2 wheels. You've got portamento, you've got a 2-octave up and down transpose switch. You could do coarse and fine frequencies on both. You can also make the first oscillator have the keyboard turn off, and it makes it just a low frequency oscillator that you can use as a modulator for something else. You've got oscillator sync on oscillator 2. You've got a choice of both sawtooth and square, which can have pulse width modulation on both of them. You've got a sample and hold and a true
All right, let's
sample
get to
and
the
hold.
sounds. We
And
already
you've
heard
got
Moody
something
Box will get on with
sample,
that.
literally sample and hold. You have your
let's
choices for
go.
that here with your mixer. You've got a white and pink noise generator.
Cool. Let's go.
More about the filter in a the sawtooth. Now if I turn that up 2 octaves, now we get this. And if I do it from up here,
and we know that Daniel Fisher's a massive fan of Behringer. If you go watch the latest Sweetwater interview with Uli Behringer, shout out to Uli. You the man, bro. And Daniel Fisher and a couple of the other cats. Daniel Fisher was just like, man, I love Behringer. Behringer's the best. And not only do I love Behringer, I got an MS5 in my studio. Shout out to Conductive, who also got an MS5 that he just fell in love with. I got an MS5 in my studio, and every time I walk in, tweak, tweak, well, bam, bam. Shout out to Uli.
and then I have a fine tuning as well.
Cool.
And you should know about this synth that It's not a preset synthesizer. Everything is to be moved in real time, including the tuning of the oscillators. So you don't just throw a switch for 8 foot, 2 foot, 4 foot, things like that. You literally have to move the knobs where you want them
Let's
to.
go.
And you've already heard it modulated with an LFO. Now I can also modulate it with the ADSR. As I mentioned before, I can turn off the keyboard from oscillator 1, turning that into a very low frequency oscillator, even lower than I played before.
Right?
Now, if I do that as a square wave, this is going to sound really interesting. I'll do the same thing, but I'm also going to have some pulse width modulation, and I'm going to turn on a little delay and reverb.
Let's do it.
To hear these harmonics sweep through
Let's
time.
do it. Not a huge fan of the reverb. Sounds like a spring reverb. Not a massive fan of the reverb on this thing, but to have a little delay never hurt anybody. Zed Aerotome's got some Behringer gear being delivered today by Sweetwater. What do you got coming? What do you got coming, Zeddy? Tell us.
And so, like I said before, those frequencies can be moved by an LFO, by an ADSR, or even sample and hold. So you can get all kinds of really neat sync sweeps. So now for FM on oscillator 1, I currently have the switch set to LFO at a sine wave, and I can do just standard vibrato stuff. I could also do that with a square wave.
8 channels, 10 channels. Listen. I mean, I'm telling you, listen. $599. This is a markdown, $60 price drop. You can go take those tariffs and stick them where the sun don't shine, baby, because this is $60 off. How's that for a tariff? Okay? $599 for a vintage replica of the amazing ARP Odyssey Behringer, fully loaded. Look at this. Wha-bam, 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 wha-bam. Okay? Fully loaded. 3 different types of filters. Sequencer added. Effects section. $599. Tariff that.
You do it with sample and hold, get that little computer sound.
R2D2.
And then finally, I can use the ADSR also to do pitches. So you can really hear this synth is a lot about modulation.
Yep.
And of course, it being analog, it's going to modulate with no problems. So now On the next one, I could do the same
Sorry, I
thing.
was just making a thumbnail
but
real
it's a
quick.
different choice for one of the FM choices.
So as you can see, it's an absolute monster. Absolute monster. Not only it's a monster in sound, like Corey Henry said, or Henry Corey, whatever his name is vintage, is classic, is analog, it's a synth.
can have the pedal. So there's a pedal input for an expression pedal, and I can sweep pitch on that, which will let you
Guess you had to be there. This synth is old. Yeah, it's old. It's called a replica of one of the most classic synthesizers ever made. Okay?
do those oscillator sync things by foot, which is very, very musical. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the three filter types. There's a 2-pole, the 4023, a 4-pole, the 4035, and a 4-pole 4075. And I'm going to start with the 2-pole. The resonance is all the way down, the cutoff's all the way up. I'm going to add
The ARP is too simple. It's simple. It's simple. What are you looking for? You want to complicate your life even more? Okay? We already got a complicated life. We got the Hydrosynth that complicates life. We got the Wave State, the Op6, the Mod Wave, the Mini Freak, all complicate my life. I'm trying to uncomplicate my life. That's why I'm looking into the ARP Odyssey. I'm looking for an uncomplicated scenario where I can sit down and relax and uncomplicate things.
VCO2 to VCO1. They're both currently on sawtooths, so we'll get a nice sound here.
And like we said, you're trying to build that generational synth wealth, okay? When you're trying to build that generational synth wealth, you got to look at these vintage replicas from Behringer.
And now I'm going to slowly bring down the cutoff of the 2-pole.
Sick. Man, Daniel Fisher and Echo Craft got similar hairdos.
Now I'm going to move on to the 4-pole, the 4035.
It's bulky. It's bulky, baby. This is a thickie. This is a thick girl, okay? If you're looking for one of those, if you're looking for a crackhead style synth, this skinny old thing hanging out on the street corner, this ain't for you, okay? This is a thick one. This is a thickie, a THICC, okay? This is a thick one. So if you're looking for that skinny mini, this ain't for you.
And the 4-pole 4075.
Yeah, we're going to cover the Behringer 2600 rack mountable Blue Marvin Gray Meanie 2600 Christmas tree light synth. We'll cover that in a different synthesizer. I'm just beta testing out this idea I got for the Behringer synthesizer showcase, where I will end up covering every synthesizer in an evergreen style video, a little more produced, because I want to try and up my game a little bit rather than these kind of carefree, shoot from the hip, gunslinger style videos that I do. But we'll see. I'm having a good time this morning. Like I said, this is a thick boy.
Now,
Or sorry, thick girl.
pole with half resonance. Same thing with the 4-pole 4035.
Man, I like that, Rourke. I'd like to see, if I could, I would do a whole wall of my house in Behringer 2600s. The whole friggin' wall with the Christmas tree lights. I do love the Blue Marvin, probably the most. But if I'm just thinking about building a beautiful Christmas tree light wall, maybe I'll build a Christmas tree this year at a Behringer synthesizers. We'll go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All with the Christmas tree light. Bring a Behringer 2600 synthesizer. Christmas tree.
And the 4-pole 4075.
We do. What is the best Behringer mono synth? Personally, right now, off the top of my head, the best Behringer mono synth right now, if we're talking about a non-paraphonic synthesizer, just straight up mono, it's probably got to be the Behringer MS1, right? Because you've got the MS5's duophonic, the Poly D's 4-voice paraphonic, the Mono Poly's 4-voice paraphonic. So you can play chords with those. If we're just talking straight mono, you're hard to beat, in my opinion, the MS1 Mark II. Hard to beat that, right? It's very hard to beat it. It's plastic. You know, the Behringer Model D, that's hard to beat too, but it's got no keys, so I got to give it to the MS1 right now. But maybe that's a video we shall do, the Behringer Mono Synth Shootout.
Now I'll go full resonance. This is self-oscillating on the 2-pole.
Self-oscillated, my boy. What's up, Mazur? What's up, Georgie G's? What's up, Blair? He's Beetle Lab.
Four-pole 4035.
Let's go. I'm into the self-oscillation. I love it. I love resonance. I'm a resident of resonance. Resident of resonance.
And the 4-pole 4075.
Ooh. How do you not love it? Baby.
It's interesting how each of the different filters reacts with different amounts of resonance. So
I don't know what I'm going to keep going with this, but what do you guys think so far? I mean, what a beautiful what a beautiful replica we got here of a classic. And like I said, I showed you a couple minutes ago the one from Korg. They did the mini keys one. I'll just scroll back. I got to play this little clip from our boy here. Hold on. This is the best clip of all time. I got to clip. Hey, this is the best clip of all time. Listen.
Classic, it's fresh, it's beautiful. Classic.
All right. This is the best. This is the best. That's why this is Shillbilly 101. All right, listen. Shillbilly 101. All you got to do is put 3 words together, an equal sign in your mind, and then state what it equals. Check it out.
It's classic, it's fresh, it's beautiful to play.
All right? It's classic, it's fresh, it's beautiful to play. But he's got one more great one-liner in here. Hold on. Right here. This is the best. This is the best one-liner of all time. So this is what you call synth math, Shillbilly synth math. 3 words, equal sign in your mind, tell everyone what it equals. Check it out.
This works.
It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog, it's a synth, it's the Odyssey. The Odyssey.
It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog. He's doing the math in his mind. Let's go back. He's doing the math in his mind while this is happening. Let's go back. All right? This is called Shillbilly Math 101. 3 what do you call it? 3 inputs, equal sign in your mind, an output to wrap it all up. Let's go.
It's vintage, it's warm, it's analog, it's a synth, it's the Odyssey. The Odyssey.
It's vintage, it's warm, he's doing the math, it's analog, equal sign in the mind. It's a synth, baby. Come on. All right, back to Daniel Fisher.
to do half resonance, I'll start with the 2-pole, the 4023. The 4-pole 40.
Corey Henry math. I learned from the best. Corey Henry's got the beautiful Shillbilly math. It's vintage. It's warm. It's analog. It's a synth, baby. It's the ARP Odyssey. That is genius. That is friggin' genius.
35.
Yeah. Write it down. It's vintage. He's doing the math in his head and he's doing the inputs. That's what makes me know that Corey Henry is next level genius, marketer, and he's got the glaze, right? So he goes, it's vintage, doing the math. It's warm. It's analog, equal sign. It's a synth, baby.
And the 4-pole 4075.
I got to put that on a t-shirt. Vintage plus warm plus analog equals a synth, baby.
And now full resonance, 2-pole.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to make a shirt. Vintage, warm, analog, and on the back, it's a synth, baby, with a giant picture of a... I'm either going to do a giant picture of a Behringer Odyssey, or maybe just a giant picture of Corey Henry's head. One or the other.
Wow. And the 4-pole, 4035. And the 4-pole, 40.
Beauty. Let's move on. High pass, drive switch. Let's check out the drive switch.
Put the volume down a little because it's going to get a lot louder. And the interesting thing to notice is that when the distortion's on, you really notice it when you use the parophony and you have two notes playing against each other through the drive. That really makes a difference.
Listen, don't go worrying about the tariffs. Don't be a panicking, okay? We don't need tons of cousins of the Pelicans running around here. Panic 24/7. Panic, panic, panic. Don't be a panicking. Just relax and chill.
Different sound for that.
Oh! Sounds like he's got a Bloomsbury Pedals organ grinder attached to this thing. Do you hear the drive kick in on this? I gotta get to work in a minute.
And then last I'll talk about the effects section over here by Clark Technique. And you have a lot of different choices. I got a gated 1 and 2, reverse reverb, a delay, an echo, an ambience, an early reflection, chorus, flanger, phaser, pan tremolo, detune, pitch shifter, delay and chorus, delay and reverb, chorus and reverb, LFO and filter, talk box, clipper. A lot of variations on that. I'll show you the proportional pitch control real quick.
If you notice what he's doing there, he's pushing on the button to add pitch.
Well, that's just a really quick look at a really beautiful synthesizer. This is the Behringer Odyssey.
I think it's a great synth. We're going to listen to this for 2 more seconds, and I got to get to work. I want to thank Echo Craft for sponsoring the show and getting me an Italian sub with extra mayo today. Echo, I appreciate that, buddy. Echo is the main sponsor of Oscillators and Percolators, that synth show, and all other shows brought to you by Synthflix. Cool, man. So that's it, dude. That is it. That is the Behringer Odyssey. Probably, it's definitely the best replica of the ARP Odyssey ever created. It blows the Korg out of the water sound-wise. It blows the Korg out of the water feature-wise. And also, I think build quality, it also blows the Korg out of the water, too. So, if you're looking to pick up an epic mono synth, an epic recreation, head over to sweetwater.com. Not sponsored by them. I'm only sponsored by Echo Craft. And pick up a $5.99. Look, you got a discount on this. So all the panicans out there worried about tariffs, don't even sweat it, baby. Don't even sweat it. Pick one up for $5.99. $60 price drop. Okay? So all the panicans can go on now back to the ocean of broken dreams and keep the whining about all that crap to himself. Let's go, baby. All the way. Behringer, all day, every day. I got to get back to work. Get to work. And let me just send you guys out with a little music. Peace out. Enjoy your morning. And thanks for joining me on Oscillators and Percolators almost every Tuesday morning.